and welcome to Living In. Today I have a special guest with me. Hi, Larry.
Hi, Amy. How are you?
Great. Thanks for being here today. Larry, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're doing here.
My name's Larry Wegner. I'm from Family Care Home Medical Equipment. We started the business about almost 10 years ago, and we're just trying to get a little bit of information out there about mostly CPAP equipment, but possibly some other things as well.
Great. So I have asked Larry to join us today because during this COVID pandemic, we've had several calls about CPAP BiPAP machines and the availability of distilled water. Larry, what is your view on individuals who have issues getting, whether it's distilled water or certain devices to keep their CPAP or BiPAP running?
Mm-hmm. Well, we should always use distilled water whenever we can. There's certain minerals you don't want in the chamber of the water chamber of the CPAP, but you also don't want those minerals floating around in the air. So we always want you to use distilled water. However, for a short period of time, it would be okay to use well water or city water. But you don't want to do that very long, and you want to wash your machine quite often if you do it. More than the recommended 3 or 4 times a week, you would want to do a little bit more than that.
So I've asked Larry to join us at a different segment to share with us some high cleaning areas that should be considered for CPAP and BiPAP machines, specifically masks, that need to be cleaned. So Larry will be back in a segment to share that with you. But in the meantime, Larry, where are some different locations? I know you mentioned where you work, but where could people get access to supplies that they need during COVID?
Well, there's always your local pharmacies, CVS, we refer a lot of people to there, but there's also your DMEs. There's a couple here in Hagerstown that have the distilled water. Sometimes we're able to get things more so than local retail stores, but your local DME companies, they're able to get a lot of those things that the retail stores sometimes can't.
And so one of the important things, DME, meaning durable medical equipment, it's really important that you check with your healthcare provider or the supplier of your durable medical equipment for information, because we certainly don't want any warranties to be voided because you've tried something, just even in an emergency situation.
That's correct.
So I think it's important that as you are looking at the durable medical equipment you're using, and today we're really focusing in on CPAP and BiPAP machines, what are some things that are really important that individuals need to remember to do to care for that machine?
Well, one of the biggest things is you have to clean it frequently. It's a perfect breeding place for bacteria. It's warm, moist air. So we recommend that you clean it at least every other day, 3 to 4 times a week. And I know sometimes that gets difficult. The hoses, they should be cleaned out with warm soapy water pretty often. And you have to let them dry. And sometimes they don't dry before you're ready to go to bed the next day. And that can cause some liquid to stay in the tubing, which can make noise in the middle of the night. So there's other ways to do it. Some people are on the go, and we do sell machines that are not covered by the insurance company, but they work very well in cleaning the machine in a short period of time.
So if they'd like to get extra tubing, where can they get that from?
We have the tubing. Your insurance company pays for the tubing every 3 months, and you should change it out, as well as a mask. Now the headgear is every 6 months, and the filters, you can get 2 of those a year. Again, these are all things that the insurance company will pay for at those increments of time, and it's a good idea to change them.
And absolutely make sure you're following the guidance of your healthcare provider of how frequently you should be wearing the mask and how to wear it. And so if individuals are having difficulty with the mask or sleeping with that mask on, contacting their healthcare provider or their durable medical equipment provider to make sure the fit is correct.
Absolutely. You want to contact us first because the doctor's going to tell you to call us anyway. So we usually give a 30-day exchange on our masks. If they don't work, bring them back. We'll fit you for something else. Usually we don't have a problem. It works out pretty good, and we fit the patient right away. And they're 90% of the time they're happy.
Is there any other quick tips that you have for CPAP, BiPAP wearers or cleaning tips? Anything that you want to share with the group?
Well, one of the things I would say is, when you first get set up, they are difficult to get used to sometimes. So I always say, hey, use it while you're watching TV, and pretty soon you're going to say, hey, I've had this thing on for an hour, and it doesn't feel like it. So it takes some time to get used to it, usually about 2 weeks. If you can get through it, 98% of our CPAP wearers say they will not go without it. So that, just keeping it clean is one of the biggest things. Your face tends to have oils on it, which will make the mask not seal as well. So that's why we recommend sealing or cleaning that mask every other day, or sometimes even every day if possible.
Very good. Well, Larry, thank you so much for being
You're
with
welcome.
us
Thank you.
today. And Larry will be back with another segment shortly, so please tune in to Larry's other segment. And thank you for joining us today at Living In. And until then, please clean high-touch areas, wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap and water, and please stay healthy and safe.